Rectum, damn near herpes. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are Laughably Dabber Entertainment, and I sound like I'm coming from a phone because I am. We are
You're
joined
also
by
echoing.
our.
You're yelling so loud you're coming back through Razzle's mic.
Let me close my door. There we go. We're just having a lot of technical problems. We're having a lot of technical issues, as you can tell, but we are working through them, and we are going to do the best that we can for you folks. In the meantime, I will be. Okay. We have our intrepid adventurers, our heroes, our investigators, our cats here with us, freshly back from whooping some ass last week. You guys did a great job. You wiped the floor with Valiska and her fucking cronies. You guys got banged up really hard, and not in the good way, not in the Steve way, but more in the stabby stab kind of way. Meanwhile, though, you guys also got to level 2. So you guys, to fluff this, basically, when you guys come down, you see they have some healers who kind of help you guys through. It's almost like you guys have been given a long rest, even though it's only been a few minutes, and you guys are back up to full HP, and you have all of your spell slots and everything available, because that's what happens when you level up, baby. That's the greatness of it. You actually see Calabo, Breeze Creek, run up to all of you and go, "That was amazing! You guys just went swish, and then blammo, and then swish again, and then what was with that guy? He just ran from the fucking canisters, and then he like fell on the floor, nearly broke his back, and then he just ran off again. He's like stumbling, and he just disappeared in the smoke. What the hell happened?"
I can't understand anything you're saying.
Like, in character or out of character?
Out of character. I don't think you can be doing... Not to pull a halt, but if you're doing this through a phone, Doom, I don't think you're going to be able to be doing accents and voices. Because it's coming through as, like, garbled static.
Oh, boy.
Do you want to use mine?
No. I can switch over to my my computer really quick, because it's just like a click away. So let me do that real quick.
Do you want me to go offline?
No.
Okay.
I will keep everyone entertained with tales of glory.
This is my kingdom. How dare you? I will entertain here.
There we go.
Hi, everybody.
Oh shit! It's that boy.
Have you
missed me?
Oh God.
Oh.
Big difference, right? Okay.
Sexy.
Ooh.
So let's try from the top, shall we?
So Calabo ran up to you guys and was just like, "What happened? You just did all of the things."
All the things.
You guys, by the way, are now able to hear Master, so you guys completely understand her.
Is Darmeet still? No. Master is with Steven now, right? Because Master was kind of running everywhere.
We're all in the same area now.
Well, right, but I'm no longer holding you, is what I mean.
Considering we were in combat.
Yeah. So yeah, Darmeet just kind of glances down, just out of the corner of her eye down to Master, and is just kind of regarding this person she hasn't met.
Bold of you to assume that she's a person. Anywho.
She is a person. Fuck you.
Aww.
I was talking about Calbo.
Oh, poor Calbo, but it's true. He's a peasant.
Calbo's a cool dude.
So, you guys are getting stitched up, and everything's going well. And of course, dinner's going to be starting soon. But you hear there's a lot of clamor about you guys. Everyone's just kind of talking about you, whispering like, "Oh my god, did you see what that lesbian did? Oh my god." And someone goes, "Which lesbian?" "All of them. They're all lesbians."
They're all lesbians now, Harold.
Oh my god.
Even the cat.
Oh,
I mean, how would we know? To be perfectly honest.
But you guys, go ahead and roll perception check.
oh
Oh,
shoot, I
perception.
lost my tab. Oh, there it is.
Perception.
And for the last time, okay. Okay, actually, I asked you guys to do that, and I didn't even roll. Hang on, there's my dice cup.
I see nothing.
Ha
You
ha!
see that dinner is going to be starting, and you are salivating.
Actually, she's not thrilled with eating right now.
She may not be thrilled with the evening, but you and I both know that Sid loves to eat because you see all the desserts being laid out.
No. The way that she's feeling currently. She's not excited for the dessert, but she's watching it being laid out,
Okay.
like for the first time.
Okay. So things have been pretty rough for you guys as well. Although you were triumphant, it's still kind of new right now. Um, Steve and Darmeeth both see um, the guards are carrying off the yellow sign cultist, um, and they're actually stripping them as they move the bodies. And you see that they're removing all the signs and everything. You also notice that these are not the regular like Senate guards or anything. These are Ulfin guards. They're these huge hulking. They almost look like basically they're cell swords, and you can tell. So obviously there's something else going on.
They got sold to the Yellow King, is what happened.
We don't know that necessarily. For
I
all we
know, cat.
Yes, master.
Darmeeth very quietly murmurs over to Steve. Based upon what I heard, I would not be surprised.
Still,
Make your screen full screen.
Thank you.
What was that? Voice from the ether? No, it's just my
no,
imagination.
that was the voice of Lady Gloriana.
Oh wait, but now I can't do rolls.
Don't worry, we can
Maybe
roll
I
for
can.
you. Just tell us when you want to roll.
Actually, that is true. I can make the rolls for you on my screen if that's good with you.
Yeah, that sounds fine.
It's not the best, but it is fine. Also, I get to do stuff like this now. Hey kids, who wants to see me pull a rabbit out of my ass?
Children scream everywhere.
No, children giggling, all the mothers screaming. Okay, so you guys are kind of exploring this place. They're all kind of gathering you up and making sure everything's fine. You see the head cleric comes back out. Oh wow, you guys got fucked up pretty bad. Could you like not do that here? This is the gala. The only reason I'm on duty is because fuck face over there decided to get acid splashed in her face for being a total bitch.
See, it almost sounded like you're going for a cronk there, but I couldn't tell. It just
It's I
changed.
think he's trying to do Archer.
Yes,
It's
we're
Archer?
correct. This is
Okay, I'm
my-
sorry.
I am doing my absolute damnedest to do a John H. Benjamin.
God, that's great.
Sid
It's fucking
Sid
amazing.
pulls a cookie out of her sleeve and like takes a bite, but like crumbs fall on the floor.
Aw.
Aw.
I
Bless
set
her.
you up for a joke and you didn't take the opportunity. Do you want ants? Because this is
Oh,
how you
You
get
don't
ants.
want ants because this is how you get ants. Can somebody please clean this up? He like turns over to one of the the obvious fish-faced man who just blinks. He puts the plate down slowly, gets on all fours, and starts licking the floor.
I kind of like picture it more like, you know how
Oh my
like
God.
stingrays like filter feed, so it's just
So
Okay, this is
uncivilized.
disgusting. This
Proceeds
is
to lick
absolutely
butt.
the worst. Okay.
How uncivilized. Proceeds to clean body as cats do. You know, leggy in the air.
Sid Sid kind of just is like she's too frustrated with everything going on and too like anxious about other things to be able to eat or do anything. So she kind of like walks over to Stephen and Master, and I assume Master's like on his shoulder. So she kind of like tugs Stephen's coat or cultist garb and says, "Hey, can we talk for a minute?"
We can talk for many minutes. What's up? You can see he's just like trying to play cool, but you can see he's kind of he's a little shaken after everything.
She
You
literally
fucked a
like
cook tonight.
she literally like kind of like grabs like the edge of his sleeve and like pulls him away from everyone else along with like Master, who I guess is Master on his shoulder.
I am now.
Oh, okay. I assumed that you were just sitting on his shoulder or something.
Licking
Like,
herself.
You
Yeah.
know what? That's an even funnier image. So yes, let's go with that one.
okay, and then so she like drags both of them away from everyone else and like to talk to them. Do you want her to continue, or do you want to?
I'm sure this has all been really exciting and really, really frustrating, but I mean,
I think I'm possessed.
he's gonna go ahead and roll a sense motive for him.
Just hum again.
Ah, that's what he said.
That is exactly what he said.
God damn it.
He stops and blinks at you. You believe you're possessed by the spirit of iniquity, I hope?
Can I? So, earlier, I don't really know very much about what you were talking about, but I assume when you said your bloodline, that you're kind of like me, where you have like this connection through your blood with a higher being, like a demon or maybe a god or something.
Sounds like that.
Okay. Well, so you'd probably know more about like other types of gods, and you guys seemed very proficient back at the house. I had never really dealt with these types of gods before. I know they're eldritch of sorts, but
They
They're
are
not-
beyond normal gods as you know them.
yeah, so I figured you'd know. So I think I'm being possessed by Nyarlathotep.
He kind of
they're
steeples his
tight.
fingers. Here's the thing. How much do you actually know about the crawling chaos?
She explains, well, she rolled a really, really high wisdom on that. Like, I think it was like a 19 or something. No, wait, hold on. Yeah,
It would have been knowledge
the-
planes, I believe. Yeah.
oh, I didn't roll knowledge planes. Oh, wait, I rolled knowledge religion, I think.
Okay, that would work.
And what's her face told her about the swirling chaos, or at least a bit about it, anyways. Do I need to roll it one more time?
Yeah, go ahead. Actually,
Did you just call it the swirling chaos?
I mean, I did. I'm sorry.
yeah, he's the god who just dunks people's heads in the toilet and just goes, "Oh, fucking nerd."
I mean, that's not out of character, honestly, on a cosmic scale. But I mean, it's basically the same thing.
Um, so yeah, you've heard that name around. Like you again, you remember your demon father just like, yeah, we don't fuck with that guy. He's totally the worst. Um,
You're not my dad. Sorry.
I am now. God, fucking next you're gonna ask me for a glass of water in hell. Um,
I
which
know
you
what you're
routinely
referencing.
did, I imagine. Um, but so basically, you know that the crawling chaos is a being who um is known for having multiple forms. It's said that he has at least 1,000 forms, and that he is so supremely powerful that the only being that can ever best him is himself, and that he'll set up games for himself to play against. So he'll make his own opponent, he'll make his own set of pawns here and there just because he gets bored waiting for um a higher power than even him to awaken. Go ahead and roll again to see. Go ahead and roll your knowledge religion to see if you know who his deity is
Okay.
or
Well,
his.
no, I wouldn't know anyways because I wasn't there when he told. Oh wait, or does he have the sigil on him? Yeah, he has it on his cloak. Okay, so that's why I roll it. All right. Oh wow, I know exactly who his deity is.
You know his Patreon as the idiot sultan, the idiot demon, the sleeping god, who, if he awakens, will destroy all living life. Everything will just stop. This is the sleeping god Azathoth. And should he ever awaken, all will be doomed. You know that only truly insane, clearly mad people worship Azathoth. Those who worship the crawling chaos are not worshiping Azathoth because they believe that Nyarlathotep will give them power, and they also believe that Desi won't stop barking. Um, they also truly believe that with worshiping him, many believe that they can keep Azathoth asleep because at any time Nyarlathotep could wake him, or so it's said.
Okay. She she turns to Stephen and Master and she said, "Look, I know quite a bit about this, and most of what I know about Nyarlathotep, I knew from whispers and rumors of other demons who had tried to make deals with him and had gone just completely insane from it. And the problem is you weren't there. None of anyone in our group was there when I was talking with that crazy lady. She was telling me about Nyarlathotep, and I could feel him clawing at my mind, trying to pull me towards him. But he didn't get hold of me. I just don't know if his presence is still within me."
I
Yeah. Uh huh. Go ahead, hun.
uh mm, eh,
Da 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 da. No, I'm just kidding.
What are you trying to do, hun?
see if that she is or not. But apparently, I'm just too distracted with. Oh, my
You
leg
cough.
really needs a good cleaning.
Do you were just banged up pretty bad. You need a good cleaning. Go ahead and roll sense motive. Actually,
Okay. Eh. Ah.
boom. You know that based off everything you know about Nyarlathotep, she's not possessed because Nyarlathotep doesn't possess people. He uses them.
No, you're not possessed. He doesn't possess people. Possessing people's for losers. He manipulates them expertly, like increase, like better than demons do. And that's saying some, so because there's some real good demons who are good at manipulating things.
But then, am I going to go insane or anything? Like, what
Only
was
if
it
you
that I
let
felt?
it.
Wait, what did she say? What did you say?
Only if you let it.
Oh,
There are ways, of course, to counter some of the abilities. Are you aware of the Elder Sign?
no.
I'll hop down and, is there any dirt?
No, this is a pristine Senate. There is no dirt unless you guys go into the garden, and you would have to ruin the garden.
I'll show you what that looks like later, but it could help. I could scratch it onto you like a tattoo.
I've got it in my underwear.
A cat too.
She kind of like looks over at Master and says, "Well, I mean, you've bitten my throat out before. Go ahead."
Oh
It's
god.
like a cat too.
What do I have to roll to give her a tattoo of the Elder Sign?
I'm gonna say for you, it's gonna be a sleight of hand check to make sure that you
Do
can
it right.
actually do this.
Wait, wouldn't it be like strength to match the AC though?
Yeah. No, because it's on
No.
a
It's more dexterity than anything.
Oh, okay.
So with your clumsy cat paws, since you've never written before this way, you just managed to like put three claw marks into her clothes.
You should have held still.
I'm sorry.
Steve's just like, listen, I can show you all of this later. I think right now is probably not a good time. And
There's eyes all around us.
she's exactly right. Right now is probably not a good time because of that. There are people here all over who worship all kinds of different deities. And you see Marquise Starborn just like dancing around. She's casting light and she's causing all these nice fairy lights. And you see Baronet uh, Staccato just with his hand covering his face, and he's just like, "Please stop."
I love Marquise Starborn. She's
She's
great.
she's my favorite. Okay. Okay, she's fine. She feels a little better after talking to Stephen and Master, and she kind of like perks up a little bit, and she says, "Yeah, I'll try not to let it get to me. Then I'm just really kind of screwed up after that battle. I've never seen someone who delved so deep into madness before like that. But if you're still feeling anxious, by the way, Stephen, you should definitely eat the cookie I gave you. Chocolate is really good for that."
I believe you. And not to make you more anxious, but chances are, from what I know of Nyarlathotep, he'll either see you as insignificant and completely gloss over you, not caring, or he'll take interest in you. I don't know which. No one knows which. But chances are, he'll just say, you know what, I don't need this queen of a demon type of deal.
You see her like trying really hard to fake a smile, but then she just goes quiet and pulls a cookie out of her sleeve and eats it. But like you can see like her eyes starting to water up.
He puts a
Aww.
hand. He puts a hand on her shoulder. There. Don't worry. At least you don't want to fuck everything that moves. And he just walks away.
I mean, that's fair.
Can she like hold on? 'Cause she just kind of like hold on, let me a second here. Oh God.
Yeah. So what were you trying to get inside on?
And, and like what he meant when he said at least you don't try to fuck want to fuck everything that moves. Like she's just kind of like, wait, what?
You know now that Steven has a compulsion where he would like to fuck anything that moves. He is attracted to pretty much
He
anything
is
and
a
everything.
severe nymphomaniac.
Huh.
Yep, it's part of his bloodline.
An omnisexual.
Oh
Omnisexual in
my
all
god.
directions all the time.
That is like the most amazing term I've ever heard. No lie, that's my new favorite word.
I got that from I heard that from Team 4 Star about Puddin's dad, Dumplin.
Oh,
Omnisexual. Dumplin. Fucking love Team 4 Star. Shout out to Team 4 Star. If you guys aren't subscribed to Team 4 Star, you're doing yourselves a disservice. Stop that. Anywho, it's my plug for the night. So while these guys are talking, Darmeeth, Mort, what are you guys doing? Thotticus, what are you guys doing?
Can I roll for Thotticus to take a nap?
Go ahead and roll
I
a.
can't roll.
Oh, I'm sorry. Let me
Actually,
go
don't do
ahead
that.
and roll
I'm
something for you.
joking. I don't fucking know what Thotticus is doing.
The doctor just comes up to you. So, what's your deal? You're like a rat person,
A person that was
That-
turned
that-
into a
that-
rat.
That's about the long and short of it.
So what's that pouch for, if I may?
Oh.
God damn it. You saw the Discord chat about that, didn't you?
What?
No.
Oh, fuck. Ah. God, we can't talk about this in the stream.
What?
The only reason.
Thotticus just kind of squints his eyes a little bit. It's like, yeah. Don't ask me that.
Well, I mean, okay, so I know females in most marsupials have pouches to carry their young, right? But you're like a guy, right? So what would be the purpose, evolutionarily speaking, for having a pouch other than carrying wicked cool shit in?
I don't know. Why do you humans always gotta go around wearing pants?
Because we don't have flesh pockets.
There you
I
go.
mean- I mean, we got the one, but it's most unsavory and it sweats real bad.
Ugh.
I know. Tell me about it. Like, how do you deal with that?
Why do we have to talk about this?
There's so much time.
Because I'm a scientist, I'm curious. Okay, so sue me.
Ugh.
Also, you're like the most interesting thing in this boring gala.
Can we just
I did
skip
not
my
mean
turn?
I didn't mean to imply that you're a thing.
Can we just skip
I'm
my
sorry.
turn? Can Thotticus just space out for 20 minutes?
You just see him kind of just staring at nothing.
He's
as
just disassociated with
Yeah,
everything.
he's
He's
just
like, nope,
dissociating
nope.
stars.
Yeah. The cat talking kind of broke his mind a little bit.
Actually, I'm gonna go ahead and roll a quick will save for you.
Oh.
Oh.
Nice, fine.
Oh.
Yeah, you're good.
Oh,
You're
you did
completely
good.
Fine. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
just
Fuck
you know
out
what?
of
You're
here.
exactly. You know what? You're so far into your own thoughts, trying to get them together, that nothing catches your mind. Nothing out of the ordinary. You're good.
Yeah. Fuck it. Adult life is already so goddamn weird. This might as well happen. There we go. Also,
So,
there's
Darmi,
spiders all over me right now.
Darmeeth, Mort, what are you guys up to right now?
Well, Darmeeth, Darmeeth is currently by Lady Gloriana, right?
Pretty sure Sid set that up last time.
Yep. So Darmeeth is going to kind of look up at Lady Gloriana and just, I hope we didn't cause too much trouble.
I wouldn't say so much that it was trouble. I would just say simply that things were boring and you made them exciting. She kind of
She just
gives a smile.
so Darmeeth kind of like there is a very small chuckle that comes from her, but she does look away a little bit. She's like, I don't I don't usually try for exciting, I suppose. Usually exciting, she's as she makes a small air quotes gesture, means different things when one's doing the reading, I suppose.
Oh. She's gonna do a quick sense motive on you.
Oh no!
She looks at you. She goes, "You know, I
Hang on.
do love visiting the library myself.
Oh.
I always find that it's the best way for a woman to express herself and find um a chance to cut loose and just have some excitement and the kind of things you don't see in regular everyday life. You know what I mean?
I have to roll a sense motive because I need to figure out what the hell she's going on about. Like
Look at-
Darmeeth needs to, because she's just out of left field. She's like, I don't.
Go
Oh,
for
no,
it.
hang
Go
on,
for it.
I hit the wrong one. Hang on, give me
Take
one
this
second.
I feel
bitch,
like-
take this little bitch Mickey Mouse for example. He's a rat wearing pants. Where the fuck do you you can't pay to see this shit in the real world.
um
Oh,
so
God.
you have no idea what she means. For you, she's just it sounds like she's talking about adventures that, women get to have in books that they don't necessarily get to have outside of books. And just, gals being strong gals and nothing else.
Being
At all.
pals, you know?
Yeah, she's lost the plot, unfortunately. So she is gonna kind of look at her slightly quizzically, like her head's going to tilt ever so slightly, and she's like, I see. I mean, I suppose that it's good for there to be a variety. She's kind of trying to piece things together. She's like, I mean, if someone is unable to experience certain things, then surely it should be represented in
Oh.
some form.
You're absolutely right. I'm so glad we are vibing on this so hard. I agree completely.
Excuse
Oh,
me,
you
sir.
Huh?
Excuse me, sir. This is the dictionary police. That word was not invented until the 2000s.
So yeah, she's just kind of like, all right, and just. Though I'm sorry that you had to come in to the upstairs situation.
Darmeeth, I have to admit, when I first met you, I thought maybe perhaps you were a timid young woman, delicate perhaps. But you've proven that you're fierce and that you are keen and that you're quick to battle. You're a capable woman who's able to stand on her own, and I have to admit, I admire that about you. Um,
She's not blushing. She's not blushing at all.
Just kiss!
I was wondering, perhaps, dinner's starting, if you'd care to join me.
Oh, she just kind of throws a glance back at the group.
Sid kind of looks over. Hey, guys, there's a great game you should play. It's called tonsil hockey.
Oh my god.
Steve steps in and says, "Let them figure it out on their own."
She kind of like mumbles under her breath. This coming from the guy who wants to fuck everything.
Listen, if we force it too hard, it won't happen. Okay?
All right, you got a point. Have fun, kids.
Darby's is just like she's just kind of staring at them, and she just kind of like you know that trope in the anime where someone turns around kind of woodenly.
Meanwhile, she's making a very. You can see she's absolutely blushing hard and looking away, trying to be like, "Oh, look, these statues look very, um,
Interesting.
artsy." Yes.
And she's like, yes, I think it is a great idea for us to go have dinner.
Yes, you hear a familiar voice. Yes, let us all sit together and eat. It would be nice. We can go ahead and sit. We have dinner. We may have a murder. Who knows? I mean,
Darmeeth, of course, picks up on that last word
I'm
as
not
she
saying.
kind of she just kind of glances and she's like, oh, of course, and I'm sure we'd be happy to have company. Right, Lady?
I'm sure you would be very happy for company. I can tell how happy you for company you are. She winks at you. But
Yeah.
but for now, it may be good idea to stay together. Uh, After all, my brittle bones upon those stairs. Oh, it was so difficult.
Oh.
So it's like, you're welcome to join Lady Gloriana and I and
Lady Gloriana,
my
you kind
friends.
of, as soon
Uh-huh.
as you say that, you see her shoulders kind of slump a little bit.
Oh.
Oh
Oh.
no.
Perfect. This works out for me. After all, I may need someone to chew my food.
Oh god.
I'm kidding. She pulls out she pulls out dentures from her bag.
Uh-huh.
Don't worry, I got it taken care of. Now let me get these suckers in. All the while, like she's fumbling, trying to get them.
So Darmeeth just kind of looks up at Lady Gloriana and she lifts up her veil ever so slightly so that her mouth is showing. She's just kind of mouths, I'm sorry.
Gloriana just like pats your hand, not looking at you, just like, oh, okay.
Oh.
How many ways can Darmeeth fuck this up? Let's find out.
Sid like nudges Steven and says, see, this is why we can't let things happen on their own.
All right, we can play wingman a little bit, but if we push it too far, I mean, I will not be responsible for all the sexual tension. That's all I'm saying.
There's
Mm.
no
Alright,
sexual
fair enough.
tension. Not
That's
a
called
cat,
my
as you and
existence.
I can tell.
That is called my existence, and we both know I can't do anything about it.
Not you, with those two.
Right, I knew that.
Steve, you're an open book. Everyone can see that.
And yet so few take it up. Anywho, so as they're approaching for dinner, Mort, what have you been up to this time?
Standing, watching,
You just been
Waiting.
standing. Uh huh.
just observing everything, and just like, well, this is amazing.
Go ahead and roll me a perception check.
Hey,
More, you experience the feeling of what colors taste like. Um, and they're not as fruity as you thought they would be. Um, you're experiencing you're actually seeing the crowd and you're hearing people talk about what happened. Um, you actually hear the faint whisper of someone say, "It seems one plot was thwarted. I hope the master has other plots in mind then." And you hear a return whisper, "Of course, we have plots upon plots. It will happen tonight. There will be a disruption. I'd
Oh
hope
shit.
so. Let's say we get to that dinner." "Agreed. I am most famished." And as you're seeing these people, you're hearing it, You're not quite able to see in the crowd. Well, actually, you are able to see in the crowd. You actually notice um, it's
Did I cut out?
Oh, I think both of y'all did actually.
Oh. Hun, you cut out.
how long?
Um, you said I don't know
You
what
said
you said.
it's, and then you're gone.
Monty Python's Flying Circus. So let me see here. You guys said that you got up to it. Um, it was in my notes. I have it here. Crow. Um, this is the man that you see talk.
Lowell's the poor.
I like his sunglasses. I want them.
Hazerton?
Huh.
Come here.
She is just having way too much fun with that.
Okay, straight up, you know who he solid reminds me of, like minus the glasses or whatever? Is that one like really old dude from Avatar: Lost Airbender cartoon, like in the Earth Temple, that like
Oh,
like he
yeah.
just takes off his
Boomy.
robe and he's like, "Rah!" Yeah, that guy.
Yeah, Boomy.
Honestly, he looks like Rasputin to me. I don't know. I
Yeah,
could be.
that's
Oh
what's
my
going
God.
through my head.
He looks like the guy you find when you go to like Denny's at 2 in the morning, just in the corner.
You know what's funny. You know what's funny about that is as these two are walking away, you notice that he's kind of muttering to himself and he's writing in a book like a fucking eccentric. Like this guy
Ooh.
looks as eccentric as he does in that picture. He is just that eccentric. Um, and you notice that the person he's talking to is a woman. Let me see if I can pull up her image really quick. Trying to find a good image that isn't like fucking wonky as all shit. As most of them are for some reason. Like this is the one Pathfinder character that for some odd reason is just like you can't find the right one. Okay, I guess we're going. Yeah. Give it just a second. Do do do. So it's gonna look fuzzy, and I apologize about that. But this is who you see him talking to.
She's cute.
Hmm.
Um, one thing you obviously can tell just by looking at them with that perception check, they are not from Taldor. They are not from this city, this country. They are from somewhere else. And it's difficult to tell what or where they're from. Actually, do a knowledge. I'm gonna say do a knowledge local, and we'll say it's a DC 16.
Nice.
You actually can tell just by his garments and just by how dark and musty they look. He's from a place called Ustalv, which is to the north of Taldor. It's well known for being a kind of cursed place. Um, and it's said that the worst of the worst live there. There have been all kinds of rumors, and there's actually rumor going around that Yastalv is the reason that Taldor has slowly gone to ruin. So there's a bit of a tension here with a lot of the senators and these foreign dignitaries. Um,
Is
It's
she
hard to
stalled
tell.
like a diplomat, or is she just literally a guy who is from this place?
It's a country. Your style seems to be a
Um,
country. The guy who comes from your style is
Oh,
Lowell the Fourth.
the guy. Oh, okay. I got confused.
it's actually it's a legitimate question. It's hard to tell whether he's a dignitary, here for anything, or as a representative of Ustall, or if he came to this gala of his own accord with his own money. But he's certainly an odd picture in this. You know, he sticks out like a sore thumb, whereas his companion, although she wears colors of Ustall, she seems a lot brighter, a lot um, preppier. She doesn't seem like the kind of dour person that you would normally see there. Um, so that's what you see as you go by, and you hear about them suspecting that um, there's they you get the sense that they believe that there's going to be another plot, that they feel something else is up, like they may know something.
Don't know if I should. I don't know what to do.
Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and say at this point that you guys are going off um, to dinner. Sounds fair. Um, so let me go ahead and switch gears. It would help if I'm on that page as well. So you see, this place looks really fancy. There's all kinds of table. There's all kinds of food spread out from all over the country. A large amount of it tends to be fish. Um, and you're seeing that everyone roll a perception check actually.
You're gonna have to roll for me, man.
Of
Ooh.
Holy crap.
Thotticus, this is the most food you've seen um that wasn't in a garbage can since like ever.
I mean, let's be real. Garbage cans are not that big. This is the most food he's seen in his fucking life.
Exactly. Um so everyone but Darmeeth and Thotticus so far. Let's see. Yeah, everyone but Darmeeth and Thotticus. You hear people talking really loudly, talking about the vote. You hear Marquis Starborn, who has sat down next.
Oh, you cut out.
Again. You need to get on a new computer.
Oh, a drink is one of.
Oh.
Oh, you
Nope.
see, are you back?
Hello.
Hi.
Yay.
You left off at Marquise or the Marquise Starborn sat down, and then that's it.
Yes, she's sat down. You see that she's in a booster seat, by the way.
Oh.
And she sat down next to the baronet,
Freaking
who's
adorable.
who's kind of helping her. He's putting food on her plate and everything. And she's just beaming up at him, and he's kind of not looking at her as he's putting food. And she goes, "Aren't you so glad we came? Look at that drunk short person." Meanwhile, you see Byron holding three beers in his hands and just going, Let me tell you about why this is the greatest country. He previously did not have an accent like that, but here he is,
Oh
drunk
my
off
god.
his ass. And he's on the table just kind of dancing in front of all these dignitaries who are just looking up at him. He's like flinging food onto Lord Sentimus and Lady Zariah
Oh,
and just making a complete ass of himself. Meanwhile, you see that the others have filled in the area to the right over here. Let me see if I can. You see over here, Princess Eutropia and Calabo are sitting near each other to the front of the table, where you see an empty seat, which is clearly meant for. It's clearly meant for um, the prince, or rather, the Grand Prince, who has not arrived. He is still away. Everyone who's listening to the conversations hears that people are mentioning this and kind of whispering to themselves. Meanwhile, you guys are off here near the study. You haven't found seats yet. Um, Darmeeth, you are still flustered because you see Lady Gloriana has let your hand go, and you see she's trying to help Lady Nicodemus put her teeth right.
oh.
I think we've got it. I'm gonna roll quick something here. She's fumbling really hard, and you see Lady Nicodemus snap her jaws around the dentures and go, "There we go. See, I was able to do it."
Darmeeth is going to reach into her bag to try to get some cloths to help wipe off Lady Gloriana's hands.
Yeah.
Roll a sleight of hand check.
Oh boy.
Okay, so you just got to beat a 5. So
Oh.
by one, you beat it by one.
I get no bonuses to that. That's why I'm like, I don't know.
Um, you wipe up her hands, no problem, and you see she's looking at you intently as you do it, and she seems to be really pleased by the interaction.
Ooh.
Um, I'd say I'm ready for dinner if you are. Mort, you actually see the Grand Duke. God, Desi, really? You just go to town on yourself. You see Grand Duke Avernathus come back out, and he spots you and goes, "Ah, my boy, there you are. I was wondering if you'd be joining us for dinner."
Who's he talking to?
He's talking to Mort. Crow, I don't know if your internet died or if you. Oh no.
His internet.
I believe it might have actually.
No, no, it's showing he's there.
Hi.
There we go. Woo! Saved by the Crow. So Duke Avernathus is actually greeting you, Mort.
Nice.
I was just wondering if you'd be joining us at the table.
Um. course, my lord. I would be honored to.
Excellent. I was just coming in here for a breath of fresh air. I'm feeling a bit hot, as it were. Just, you know how it is. Nice saying. Is this your group of friends?
Mort hesitates a little bit.
It's his group of friend and others.
These are clearly my servants. My future acolyte.
Look, these are my servants, and this is my daughter.
These are the people that refuse to leave me alone for more than 5 minutes.
He looks at them. Ah, they're just like my children. I knew exactly what you mean. You see, he's kind of fanning himself a little bit. I say, why don't we go sit down? Not quite feeling myself. Perhaps you could tell me some of your stories. I mean, I'm sure that there are many things you could tell me about the history of the dark elves, the drow.
Um, of course, my lord.
Oh.
Darmeeth, you don't know what it is, but this man does look sweaty. I'm sorry, not Darmeeth, Sid. Yes, this man is very sweaty.
Um,
Darmeeth, you get the sense like he's trying to be like this guy is legitimately trying to be friendly, um, to Mort, but can't quite tell what's going on. Okay, so what are you trying to do, Mort?
I'm concerned. He's like the illness. Like he can I tell how like what might be ailing him slightly, and if he might need to see like a medical professional.
He seems to be suffering. It almost seems like he's having a heart attack, actually.
Oh shit!
My lord, I don't mean to speak out of turn here, but you do not look well. I would feel better taking you to a doctor of sort. You seem almost like your heart is giving out.
Admittedly, it is a little harder to breathe, but I just, I just thought it was perhaps maybe something I ate or I don't quite know. I'm sure if I had a bit more wine, I would calm myself down.
Please, my lord, it worries me seeing you like this. Please let me accompany you to a medical professional. I
Would
would
Darmi?
not be able to
Sorry.
live with myself if I weren't able to help you in some way.
Uh, of course, but if I may be so bold, perhaps this old man could have a spot of wine to ease his mind. I'm. You see, he's getting a little bit weaker. He's getting a little fainter. I just need some air. I just need something to drink, something to cool down.
Would cure light wounds help the heart, or is that specifically only for
You're
external
certainly
damage?
welcome. You're certainly welcome to try.
Okay. So Darmeeth is gonna has been watching, and she's gonna notice that he seems to be getting weaker. So she's gonna walk over and attempt to use cure light wounds to try and help ease what may be affecting him. So let me roll that. Give me a second.
Hey, how do you whisper to people?
/W.
Well, he does one. No, he does two.
So you see, he heals for 2 damage, and he seems to be slowing down a little bit. But um, as you approach and you're um, let me answer that question. Um, actually, Sid, go ahead and roll a quick knowledge history check. While you guys are doing that, um, I'm gonna be right back. Give me just a minute.
Oh, I know every detail about everything to
You
do.
you remember exactly that? Yes, he did tell you that he was. If you want to bring
Sid-
that up to the group.
Yeah, no, Sid's literally just going to run over to Steven and say, that guy's in trouble. Please go check him out.
When Jin gets back, I'll have Steve do a heal check.
Yeah.
Wait, should I pause the stream?
No,
Nah.
you're good.
Okay.
Barely.
He's cut out.
Your thing isn't working. I'm gonna have Steve do a heal check.
Okay.
So I
So
can find
meanwhile, you see Avernathus grab hold of the wall. He's still kind of heaving. Um, Steve takes a closer look. You see him actually approach the man, and he gently takes the old man's hands. He's checking his pulse and everything. And he goes, "Well, he certainly doesn't bark or growl." Uh, I said he doesn't do that, Bet. I was gonna call her Bessie. Jesus. Um.
I'm glad you think I'm a dog.
So he actually
Bark.
something
Bessie,
has
why?
been
Every
irritating
bloody
her.
time? Yeah. Something outside probably. So he actually puts a hand on the guy's shoulder, taps him a little bit, and says, "You'll be just fine. Don't worry." He turns over to Mort and kind of pulls you to the side. This man has clearly been poisoned. The the poison is mimicking some kind of stroke or heart attack, which, given his advanced age, is easy to cover up. But if you know what you're looking for, you can see. This man's clearly been poisoned, and it's likely that if he's poisoned, there might be others.
How convenient.
Hey,
First
hey,
things first, we need to get him to the medics.
hey, Doom.
We can't have.
Yes.
Can you quickly roll intelligence for Thotticus? Or wait, would you want it to be intelligence or perception?
Uh, are you are you trying to have him see what's going on?
I'm trying to have Thotticus make the connection between this and events he was involved in earlier.
But that wouldn't actually poison.
That you know of.
Okay? So based off your intelligence, you legitimately believe that you may have killed this man.
Oh god.
Oh, jeez. Dad always said it was gonna happen someday.
Oh.
You just hear the whispered voice of um trash mort bitch legs going, "One of these days you're gonna poison someone, and all you gotta do is run from the blame."
Oh god.
pretty funny.
Oh, that's good.
God.
Stephen actually turns over to you. Um, I'm sorry. Mort, there's no time. This man, his symptoms are advanced. I don't know how long he's been drinking, but it seems as though he's already barking.
Don't,
Bark,
don't say it.
barking up the old tree.
Sid overheard the entire conversation, and she quickly, just without looking at anyone, walks over the table and grabs a glass of wine off of it and brings it back over to the old man. Here, you wanted a drink, right?
Oh, thank you. You see, he takes a deep swig of the wine, and you immediately see Stephen go, "Wait!" And
Wow.
Oh,
as he
Crap.
Thotticus is like pulling his ears in frustration.
as he pulls the drink the cup away from his lips, he blinks at Stephen. Whatever is the matter, boy? And he slumps over.
Oh.
Darmeet had been trying to support him, so now basically his whole weight is on her.
Yes. You guys are free to make medical checks on him.
well, is there still wine in the cup?
There is a little bit of wine.
Because Mort being a drow, drows have an affinity with poison.
Okay.
A connoisseur, if one would.
It's true. You're able to you can actually try to sense I believe it would be a perception check.
Right.
After he gets that done, I've got a question for you, Doom.
Yes!
You see that this wine is perfectly normal. This particular glass was not poisoned, but at some point during the night, this man must have been poisoned by someone or something.
Doom,
Yes.
can I roll a charisma check to see if Darmeeth can channel her abilities to try and basically take a look back and see what happened to this man tonight?
You absolutely can.
Okay.
We will call it. Okay, there we.
Oh,
I was gonna
sorry.
say DC 20.
Hold
And
on, I didn't do anything, but okay.
oh, okay. So
That
we'll
That was
get to
that was
Sid.
Sid.
So
Yeah. Sid's angry.
uh, go ahead, Darmeeth, and roll your check. Oh, you got it.
Nice.
Nicely done. Okay,
Sorry, I'm very happy about this.
Mort, seeing this man who has treated you with kindness and warmth that few truly treat you with, you're kind of flabbergasted. Your mind is racing and reeling as you're trying to put the pieces together. Right now, you're having a hard time doing it because you you know at this point that there is no way you can save this man.
Thank you, sir, for kind words you've given me.
Meanwhile, Sid and Darmeeth, you're able to go back. Your eyes kind of float to the back of your head as you start kind of rocking a little bit back and forth, and you begin to play back what happened. You see, he's been drinking a few goblets of wine, um, and you see a wine bottle. Um, you're able to glimpse the label, and you can see from the label, the cork, it was handed to him by um, one of the servants, the fish people. And you see he uncorks it, and as you does this, you notice there's a small hole in the cork, barely visible, as he pours it in his goblet and drinks. And you notice as the scene plays out, the drink is passed around, but he's taking a couple of drinks from it, and you can see he's getting very sick as the night continues to where you see him now. Sid, you
Sorry.
know that because this poison, uh, you know that this goblet did not contain the poison. And you know this because as you pick it up and sniff the wine, you can tell that there's nothing wrong with it, that it wouldn't have been this cup. Um, and you also notice that everyone else is drinking, and from your perception, you're able to see that no one else has been affected the way this man has. So it's difficult. You're able to discern that if this was a poison, it may have been made specifically for him. That someone along the lines may have tampered with his single drink by itself. Darmeeth has not seen that or does not pick up on that, but it's possible that that might be the case just based on deduction. Because if that wine was poisoned and everyone was drinking from the same bottle, one or more persons would also be affected by it.
Right. I was gonna say I have a couple of questions. One, I was trying to see did she see in her vision anyone else fall ill, or is it just because she's focusing on him she only saw the scope of him?
It was difficult. Go ahead and roll me a perception check.
Okay.
Ooh.
You're able to see a little bit past him. You see he's passed the wine to Marquis Starborn and the Baronet. He's passed it to Lady Trent. He's also passed it along to Marquis Charlotte, who's passed it around along her table. But you see at one point um, that this big hulking guy, Yalborn, he actually is the last one to take a sip before returning it back to Abernathus, where Abernathus finishes the bottle for himself. Was that Alyssa?
Question. Lady, what was her name? Lady Kath?
Lady.
It wasn't Marquis Starborn. It was Lady. No,
It
Marquis
was
someone.
Marquis.
It was Alyssa, but I've moved her to cool down so she can sleep. She sleeps.
Well, based off how it went, I'll show you how it went. So it went from him over here because he was sitting at this chair. Then it went to Starborn, the Baronet, Lady Trent, the Marquis Charlotte, passed its way to the um, Earl Verimax, and then finally to Landgrave Yarburn, who returned it to him here.
So it didn't hit the two from the north.
I will
Darmith,
let
are you?
I will let you guys make more deductions. I need to get some water, and also
Are
check
you-
on Alyssa.
Okay. Darmith, are you sharing this information with us? She is on mute.
Sorry, I didn't want for you guys to hear the typing. So Darmeeth, it took a few moments to kind of go through everything, but you're gonna see her head kind of tilt back forward as she's still under the body of Abernathy's, and just she kind of lets out a bit of a sigh and a shudder and just. He was certainly poisoned. The bottle was. The cork in the bottle was tampered. And the bottle was shared
With
among
who?
2 tables. Marquis, and she lists off the people that she saw the order of. You can kind of tell that it was harder for her to do this because, again, she usually uses her tarot cards. So she's a little winded, but she's doing her best to communicate what she saw.
Sid's eyes kind of widen in shock, and she yells, "Not my precious snowflake," and runs over to Marquis Starborn and knocks her cup off the table.
Okay, so we're gonna have to kind of pause any action that happens outside of the room, just because DM has to be here.
I am
But
here.
yes,
I'm gonna
good.
tell him.
Go ahead and roll an not acrobatics. What is the athletics? You are gonna need to roll a. Let's see.
Sleight of hand?
Yeah, go ahead. It's not gonna be a sleight of hand. It's actually gonna be a. Give me just a second. Not bluff. Go ahead and roll a diplomacy as you smack this out of her hand.
The wine has been poisoned, and we know exactly whose cups have been tampered with.
Everyone, like, it's really loud and you hear clattering and people talking, but as soon as you say that, it is as if you can hear a pin drop. And you see the Marquis look down at her cup, look down at you, down at her cup. She drains the cup, puts it down gently as she goes, "Horns, I think we might be in danger."
Did you just drink that?
Roll a knowledge check. Let's say it's going to be a knowledge nature, actually. You fully assume that she has willingly ingested poison and that she's probably gonna die.
Do you not value your life? I came over here to save your life, and you just took that cup and you drank the poison.
Oh my god.
The baronet steps up and he actually puts a hand on both her shoulders and says, "The Marquis shall be fine. She is a gnome druid. They're infamous for being highly resistant to poison.
Oh.
Don't worry. If anything happens to her, I will be the first to run my blade through any blackguard who thinks or deigns to hurt my wife." And she looks up at him and smiles.
Oh. Sid looks over at Lady Trent and says, "I would let you drink that, but I can't. It wouldn't be in my conscience to do so. Your wine's poisoned too."
Of course it would be. Who wouldn't want to kill off a very important person?
Jesus
She begins
Christ.
fanning herself. Look at me. I'm already feeling faint. Mort, with your perception, You are able
I
to
want to
see.
like side eye. I want to side eye the people from the north just to make sure, like, just to see what their reaction to all this is, because they're the ones I don't trust the most.
You see. You see the lady with the bright colors. Melisani. She's looking around, perplexed, confused, and she's looking a little frightened. But Lowell's is just continually looking down his book and making notes in a notebook. He's seemingly uninterested about what's going on. You see him stop for just a moment as he hears the word poison, and then he continues writing down, and you hear him under his breath mutter, "Fucking noblemen can't do anything without killing each other, can they?" Yeah. As he just scribbles away, just furiously and feverishly.
So possibly not involved with this, at least.
Yeah, I'm not happy.
Sid continuously like goes around to all the people that Darmeeth saw that she explained about and tells them their drinks have been poisoned.
Yarnborn steps up. "If I may, how do you know we've been poisoned?"
Hmm. That is honestly not my place to tell. But hold on, let me roll another diplomacy check. Ha!
Um, he is not taking that as an answer. He looks at you and says, "I'm sorry, little madam, but we need more evidence than that. If there is to be an investigation, we will need to call the Olfen Guard and make sure that they proceed over the events at hand. Now you say we've been poisoned. Who and what would have poisoned us?"
Sid kind of like freezes for a minute, clears her throat, and in like the most dramatic voice she can muster, she says, "There's been a murder!"
Roll diplomacy with disadvantage. So roll twice and take the lower.
Oh god.
Oh shit!
No. I usually roll low diplomacy anyways. Oh, 10.
That's not as bad as it could have been.
It's not as bad, but you see that Lady Trent looks up and says, "Obviously, she means me. Someone's meaning to murder me, and I already know
Oh
who
my
it
God.
is." And she points to Steve as he's just minding his own. You see him like looking over Abernathus, and like you see him doing various medical checks, checking his pulse continuously. Um, and you see he's actually trying to discern what kind of poison was. He looks up for a second. "I'm sorry, what are you on about, bitch? You're trying to kill me. I know you are." "I mean, if I did, I would have done it. I threw acid in your face this morning, or this earlier today."
Jesus Christ.
Hey, Doom,
Yes.
can you see my sheet, or can you only just roll for me? Because I literally can't see anything but the screen that, you know.
I
the
can
screen.
see the whole thing.
Okay, great. What do I have more advantage for, diplomacy or bluff?
Diplomacy or which one?
Bluff.
Uh, Most certainly bluff.
Okay, can you roll bluff for me?
18, baby.
All right. You gotta listen to us. That
Beautiful.
man over there, as Thotticus points towards Steve, is a poison scientist.
Oh my
He
god.
Oh
spent
my
his
God.
life studying poison. We are all in grave danger. You have a gala of the most important people in this Taldor. I fucking forgot the name of the city. I'm
Yeah,
so
it's
bad.
Taldor.
In Taldor. One of them drops dead and you're not gonna do anything? You know what? I'm
Everyone-
gonna roll perform for that too, since Thotticus is screaming.
yeah. Just imagine he's doing this the Charlie thing where he's just yelling at everyone.
Yeah.
Doom.
Yes.
I want a finger whistle. Like loud, sharp whistle to get everyone's attention.
Um, you do so actually, and you see that really quick as everyone is just prepared not to take this seriously. They truly do believe that Steve is, as Thotticus put it, a poison scientist.
Oh my god.
Oh Jesus.
They assume that he is some kind of herbologist or something, and that Thotticus is just too simple to know the correct to correct wording.
I mean, he is, so that is a very correct assumption.
Um, but they're all believing this now. As you more make that whistle, um, you gather everyone else's attention, and they're looking at you now.
Alright, let's hope this works.
Wow.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen of tonight's party. My name is Mort Philibar. I am a detective. I apologize for the proceedings that have gone down so far, and I am sad to inform you not only has Grand Duke Avanathus passed away tonight from poisoning, but no one in this room will be leaving until we figure out who is still under effects of poison and if the person who has committed such a heinous crime is still in here. I apologize for the proceedings and I thank you for your patience. Please remain seated and I will be with you as soon as I possibly can.
And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we have a murder mystery on our hands.
Woo!
And everyone is in murder mystery fashion, frozen in place, doing their best to look not guilty and avoid each other's eye contact while some are eyeing everyone suspiciously.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, since we're in murder mystery mode now and Doom has power over my sheet, cast Innocence.
Oh god.
Cast what?
I think it's called Innocence.
Oh my god.
Innocence. You surround yourself with an aura of innocence and trustworthiness. You now gain a plus 10 competence bonus on bluff skill checks to convince others of your innocence. On this
Oh.
lasts for 1 minute.
It lasts for 1 minute. Ah, god damn it! I forgot how long it lasted because I can't see my sheet.
No, 2 minutes now.
2 minutes.
It's a minute a level.
Oh, that's right. It lasts 2 minutes. So if you want to make a convincing argument, now might be the time.
Oh man, I don't have one. Thotticus is literally the most suspicious person in this building. Or at least in our party, he's the most suspicious.
At
Wait.
this point, though,
Oh wait, no, I got it.
Uh huh.
Did Thotticus hear when Darmeeth earlier said, or I think it was Darmeeth or Sid, I forget who said, pointed out that it couldn't have been a mass poisoning because it was because it was only certain cups. It couldn't have been a wine. Fuck.
Yes, you were able to hear that, heard that.
Okay. So I'm gonna turn now to Darmeeth and Mort. I guess Sid and Mort, because they're right here, and explain why what I did earlier is definitely not connected to what is going
Do it
on
out of your
now.
shot of anyone else. Do it out of your shot of anyone else, otherwise the nobles are gonna overhear.
Okay, alright. Hey, friends, let's move into this corner. Roll diplomacy for that, I guess.
All right. What's up?
Is Mort coming too, or is it just gonna be Sid?
He
Mort's
matched your
kind
sense
of
motive.
focused. Yeah, Mort's kind of focused on actually trying to figure things out. He doesn't actually have enough time to
That's
play
pretty
child
fair.
games.
Yeah, alright.
So you know,
So would this be a straight charisma roll for me? Hello?
Oh, we lost you.
hello.
Yeah,
Hello.
there we go. You
Okay.
stopped at you know.
Oh, I was gonna say. So more, you know, based off of the mission that he was given by Lady Law, that it may or may not pertain to what occurred. Um, in fact, some of this mystery may hinge on whether or not Thotticus's mission was to poison this cup, or if it was a
All right.
But didn't like when Darmith passed us on the information, didn't she tell us that it wasn't Thotticus cup that was I mean Thotticus wine bottle that was
She
the
can't
poison?
verify that. She can't verify that because she doesn't know what bottles were tampered. All she knows is that the cork was tampered with. She
Oh,
saw the label, so she would have to talk with Thotticus and see if Thotticus remembers what labels of the bottles he
and
messed with.
Thotticus was,
okay, gotcha.
and I'm gonna say, in character that Thotticus does not remember because he chose
Oh, he does
randomly in
not.
the dark.
Yup.
Mhm.
Wait, one last thing before Mort walks over. Stephen, while you're there, can you help get the body off Darmeath? She looks like she's very uncomfortable right now.
Oh
Thank
god.
you.
Always the
Absolutely.
gentleman.
He actually kind of gently drags the body and puts him on the rug as he and Master's gonna be kind of Master, you see, jumps on the table and is now kind of eyeing everyone as she's picking at the food with her paw and slowly eating it off off of people's plate.
Does she knock a cup over?
She does not knock a cup over until she gets to Lady Trent, in which case she immediately knocks a glass over on her. And she's like, this beast, what is it? It's
She
my master, and if you touch it, I will burn your face again, bitch.
he Master immediately accidentally picks up a full glass and breaks it over her head.
Oh god.
Jesus Christ.
Oops.
I can just imagine her curling her tail around the glass and just like tail whip.
Jesus Christ.
Okay.
So
Wait, have I explained yet to Mort and Sid?
nope.
No.
Or we're just we're hanging out in the corner.
You guys have successfully taken them to the side and explained the situation at this point.
Okay. I didn't have to roll like diplomacy or charisma or anything there.
I mean, you did.
Did I?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't
That
see.
diplomacy was to get them over there. Yeah.
Oh, I got them over there, but I didn't actually explain what was going on. I was just like, come over to the corner.
But now you've explained.
Okay. I guess I didn't have to roll save for that.
Sid is looking around for Lady Lothlead.
She's up here. Mort already saw.
That is Princess Eutropia.
Oh.
Um,
Hmm.
Lady Lothlead is actually um. You
Okay,
notice that
confused.
Lady Lothlead is not currently in the room, so she's actually not here to defend herself.
Ooh, that's not good.
Sid walks over to Master. Hey, we've got a problem. Do you want to tag along with me for a minute?
So you're talking to the master?
Like
Yeah.
directly in front of everyone?
Well, it's kind of. She says it in a hushed tone that only a cat could hear.
You see, master is um still eyeing everyone suspiciously. Um, master made a very poor perception check because she is currently busy eating salmon off of someone's plate.
Lady Trance.
Yep. You just see her taking little nibbles and
That's
just
wonderful.
licking the plate.
And then just in the corner, my fucking fish.
Exactly.
So it kind of just is like, all right, well. And she walks back over to Mort. So Lady Lothlead isn't here, and she's the one that gave us the missions in the first place. What have we all been doing?
Sowing seeds of doubt, gauging people's reactions to Princess Eutropia, and poisoning people. You get in the way. Fuck. Someone's gonna have to go get Lothlead, bring her back here.
All right,
I'm not too.
I'm going.
Okay.
You see that as you begin to walk out, you see that Lady Trent stands up and points directly at you. You can't leave. You're
Oh,
just as suspicious as the rest of us.
oh, but the thing that you didn't see earlier, Doom, is that Sid rolled a 20 intimidation on her, and what she was going to say was, like pretty much, if you make a fuss about anyone else in this party, we should have another talk, like we did in the garden earlier.
Ah, okay, that's fair. Okay. So no one tries to stop you or say anything uh as you leave. So you will be I'm just going to put you down here for a bit.
Okay.
Okay. It's going to take you some time. I'm actually going to roll really quick to see how long it's going to take you. Second. Going to roll d4 and it will take you not long at all. It will literally take you a minute to find her.
Got her, got. No, I'm just kidding.
Um Meanwhile, what is Mort thinking about all?
It's very suspicious, to say the least, that a member of the party was asked to poison wine, and then poison wine was used to kill.
See, I would ask him to kind of go over his memory because from what I remember, it wouldn't be poisoned. The wine would be tainted.
Tainted wine.
True.
But
Yes, but
did
tainted
anyone
with blood.
verify? Right. Did anyone verify the contents of the syringe? That's the other question,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah. So,
Out of character. We also Thotticus did taint some of the wine with contents other than the syringe. So I'm not phrasing this well. What I'm trying to say is, we cannot let. It would be interesting to explore the possibility of, say, an animal allergy.
alright, so Mort calls Darmeath and Lady Gloriana over.
Before that, I was just going to say, Darmeath went over to Lady Gloriana and was asking her if she had had any drink other than, let's say, water. That would be pretty difficult to disguise the poison unless it was absolutely tasteless.
No, I walked in with you.
But she meant before we even met tonight. Just before we even met tonight, did you drink any drink other than water, for example?
No, not from here. No. I always keep my wits about me. I don't drink when I'm in public like this.
So Darmeath just kind of gives a sigh of relief, and she basically, like when she does a sigh of relief, she basically kind of takes Lady Gloriana by the wrists, and she just kind of bows her head slightly. She's like, "Good, that's good."
She looks at you. You don't suspect me, do you?
She kind of looks up sharply in shock and just, no. There's been nothing that would make me even think that. I was concerned for your safety.
You see that she nods her head and she goes, and I appreciate that. But at this point, would I not be a suspect in this? I'm a lady.
Possibly.
I'm a noble person.
Then what we can do is I trust Mort. I trust his insight. And I trust you to be the kind of person I've seen you are tonight.
She nods her head. She looks very solemn as she looks back at you. I know I didn't have anything to do with it, and I will help as much as possible. If I may, Mort,
Yes.
who do you think, why do you think anyone would kill uh, Duke Avanathus on, with intention?
Gloriana, what do you know? What do you remember of Avnathus?
Get hello? Didn't
Yeah.
Hello?
there we go.
He was asking Gloriana what she remembers of Duke Abernathus.
He he doesn't have a grand position. In fact, he has a grand title, but the lands that he is Duke of are, well, quite frankly, they're not worth very much. It's more for the title than anything else. Um, he's got no next of kin, so if he were to die, there's no heir to take his place as Duke. It would perhaps leave a power vacuum, but who would want a ceremonial title?
But him as a person, when I met him, I unfortunately thought the worst of him from previous experiences. And I was shocked to find that he was quite a caring man. That he would look past my own appearance, something most people find it hard to do, and judge me as someone on the inside. You asked me if I have any idea why someone would want to take him out, and out of every person I've met tonight at this party, he's been the most compassionate, caring person out of all of them.
But surely that would be not be enough of a reason to kill him.
You'd be surprised the reasons people can find to kill someone.
Darmeeth is a little quiet, but then she speaks up and says, "Well, it's possible that it was a message, or perhaps a diversion, or perhaps it was to seed suspicion and cause further disruption towards another end."
What what I need from you both right now is I need for you to watch over one table while I check on the other. Make sure that those that have ingested poison are still feeling healthy, and make sure that the other nobles sitting at the table don't make any sudden movements. We don't know if anyone in this room is the actual killer, but we can't be too cautious.
Has Sid come back in?
Not as
Sid,
we're
you actually do come in. Give me just a moment. Let me.
Mort, which table are you referring to?
I feel it's best to check first the table with Princess Eutropia on it, just to calm her nerves. I don't wish for her to get too too worried in these times.
Technical difficulties should be fixed.
Okay.
I'm
So
sorry.
We're alive.
you were able to see pretty much everything.
Yeah, I know. I had to fix it quick.
No, you're absolutely fine. You're fine. You're
I'm
good.
sorry.
No, no, it's
Bad,
fine.
Foldy.
It's fine.
Bad.
I'm sorry.
Stop being
We
human.
apologize, you guys, to the technical difficulties. We thank you for sticking with us thus far.
I was actually gonna say, do you guys want to call it in about 15 to 30?
Please.
I mean, yeah, I was
Yeah.
gonna say we probably should push it further.
Or do you guys want to call it here since we've given everyone kind of a lot? The only reason I want to continue on my end primarily is because the episode's just going to kind of cut off randomly.
Yeah, let's. What do we call it? 40 minutes. That gets us round to the next hour.
Um,
I don't know.
Because I feel like this is a good place right now, to kind of do like a 15-minute max kind of wrap up for this episode and pump up for the next episode.
that sounds good.
Sure.
I agree.
I'm
Okay.
sorry, everybody.
No, it's fine.
No,
You've
no,
been
that's
doing
fine.
great.
You've had a long day. It's all good. And because, like I said, since we have that technical difficulty, that way the next episode that goes out with the next episode, I can try to edit it all down. With that being said, so best, I don't know if you remember where we left off.
I
It
have no
was
idea when we
Sid.
stopped streaming because my computer just crashed, and when I got it back up and running, the stream was still going.
Oh, frick.
Guess we'll find out next time. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh God.
So we're going to assume that it's heard everything up to oh man, I can't even remember what the last thing we said was.
It was talking to Darmeeth and Lady Gloriana and having
Asking,
them
yeah.
go to the nobles and calm them down and reassure them.
Basically, we would handle one table while Mort handled the other. I just
Okay.
didn't know which one yet. which yet.
In that case, do you guys know what time it is?
Uh-oh.
Murder time. No. I hope not.
Initiative
No,
time.
it is time then to rolls y'all's initiatives.
Also, did Sid officially come back?
Yes, Sid and Lady Lothlead have come back.
Oh, can Sid do what she was gonna do then with her?
What was she gonna do?
Well, I guess that would be an initiative thing. Never mind.
And I blow it on an initiative roll.
Oh
God damn
crap!
it.
I didn't click my token.
Oh my god.
Dude, we're gonna have to do this one for me too.
There.
I can't.
Oh, it's even
I
worse.
can't roll.
That's fine. That's
I'm
fine.
sorry.
I need to do it for master and for. Oh, good, you got an 8.
It's
Let me get master and
Can you wait? Oh, never mind.
I blow a natural 20 on an initiative, of course. Oh man.
we are totally burning the midnight oil, literally.
A little bit.
Uh,
Yeah. Sorry about the yawn. It
just
wasn't
so
intentional.
you guys know, really quick, and I want to make that announcement. This coming week, let me see here. Yes, this coming week is going to be. I'm going to be working Monday through Friday. So we'll be able to stream normally on Friday the 28th, but I may see if we can move our week after to Wednesday or Thursday. Um, because I work the 30th, I work Sunday through Wednesday, and then I go back to work Friday and Saturday. And I've got really early
Oh.
shifts,
Well, we
so
definitely couldn't do it Wednesday because Crow works then.
right.
Thursday I
So-
could do though.
Yeah.
I'll be out of the country, so
I don't have any of my schedule past this Tuesday, so I can't say anything yet.
Okay. We will discuss that off stream. Just to let you guys know, we may take that week off from streaming. In observance of the July 4th holiday. Happy birthday, America! But
Yeah.
but also primarily because I'm gonna be working really weird hours at Arbonne. So
Yeah.
but what was Sid trying to do before we get to Darmeet?
She was literally going to be like pulling her in by the arm and like put her in front of everyone and intimidate her into speaking.
ooh.
Well, not in front of everyone. I just mean in front of our group of people. Not like throw her in the midst of the wolves of the nobles. Speak, worm!
You grab her and you're dragging her in, and you try to you are fumbling with your words. You're just sounding like you am criminal,
Oh
Oh.
god.
and she looks at you and says, I believe that you're having some kind of sugar rush. Perhaps you need to slow down a bit. What's this all about, anyway? And she looks, and you see her eyes grow wide with horror and then narrow. What has happened?
Mort walks up, puts a hand on Lady Lothlead's shoulder and said, Good evening, Lady Lothlead. Welcome to a murder mystery dinner theatre. You're now a suspect.
What does Sid gain off of the sense motive for her?
From the sense motive, you can tell, she's really shocked, and you can tell that this was not a part of her plan. If she had any kind of plan regarding killing anyone, this definitely wasn't it.
Sid kind of like looks over at Mort and says, "Yeah, she didn't have us do it. Don't know how innocent she is, but she's innocent in this crime." And then she walks over to Thotticus and whispers the good news in his ear that he didn't actually kill anyone.
I'm gonna make a quick. Do you mind if I make an intelligence check for Thotticus?
Go ahead.
I'm sorry.
We gotta check
just-
his intelligence pulse.
Let me make.
That sounds about right.
You are feeling slightly more hopeful, but you're still not convinced that you didn't kill this man,
If-
whether on
if-
purpose or by accident of some.
If the roll had been higher, I could just picture him just going out loud, "Oh, thank God!"
God.
Trashmorton's voice echoes in the back of his head. God damn it! I can't
You're a
fucking do the voice, I'm
disappointment to
sorry.
me, son.
It's like,
You
"Ah,
couldn't
you'll get him
even
next
get
time.
fucking up someone else's life right for me.
Yeah.
Such a disappointment.
Ugh. The last bitch legs to kill a man. Ah, what a disgrace.
Now we gotta rely on fuck hands to kill someone. And you know how reliable fuck hands is? He's not. That's why we named him Fuck Hands.
Oh god.
Whoa, whoa, continuity error. I thought we established Thotticus and Piss Hands were the last two probably living bitch
Fuck
legs
hand-
children.
Fuck Hands is a cousin.
Oh, Fuck Hands is a cousin.
Like,
Alright.
Often.
Oh yeah,
way,
Michael
like,
Fuck
third.
Hands.
Yep.
Michael Fuck Hands.
Oh my god. Oh my god. I'm sorry. That made me laugh a lot harder than I should have. I'm sorry.
At some point, you just need to draw a picture of Thotticus, in front of this massive chart that has like all his family, and he goes like, "It's really simple if you just follow it along this way."
There's like some
God.
circles in there and like some curly lines. There's like one that kind of doesn't go anywhere.
It's just a branch that goes straight down.
Look,
I was
that's
thinking
me.
There I am. I'm down
Yeah.
here with you regular people.
Just the implied inbreeding and everything on one branch.
Oh my god.
I mean, we're
And somewhere in
rodents.
the- Look,
You know what we
somewhere in-
fuck like? We fuck like rodents.
just in the distance, all you hear is.
Oh god.
That's cousin Banjo.
Somehow a bear got in the mix. We don't know how. We don't know how.
We don't.
Banjo Craplick.
Banjo
like banjo.
dipshit.
Okay.
More like banjo crap the bed. Anywho,
All right, guys. We don't have that much time. Come on.
So
Okay,
it's
go
Um,
ahead.
Darmeet's turn now.
yes. So
Yeah. So yeah. Go
mhm.
ahead. Go ahead.
No. What do you want to do from here?
So Darmeeth is going to approach Lady Nicodemus really quick before she verifies with Mort where exactly he wants her and Lady Gloriana to go. Just I
Had
I had a vision of what had occurred to the Grand Duke. I wanted to see if perhaps you had seen something more.
And you're saying this to Lady Nicodemus, correct?
Lady Nicodemus.
You see her. She tilts her head back a little bit, and you.
oh, you cut out.
Oh, cutting out.
Mm,
Too loud.
No. The exposition, it's gone.
mm. Well, that's all, folks.
Da-da-da-da-da.
The answer was inside of you the entire time. Did you get all
Ah. All right,
Ah,
go
It's
ahead.
up
so
to you
you
to
did
butthole.
it.
of it?
Jesus Christ.
um. So, you see, she tilts her head back and she rolls her eyes in the back of her head, and she goes, "The whispers, they tell me many things, but there is miasma around this place. There is no telling who or what could have done this for me. But I do know there is more than one hand at play. It is not so cut and dry, it is not so simple. It is not as if one person was involved. And it may be that those who he have already faced were involved as well. This I tell." And she opens her eyes. "Oh, hello, dearie. Have we already eaten yet? I forget."
No, unfortunately, it seems to have been postponed a bit.
"Oh, too bad. I put my dentures in for nothing."
So Darmeeth is going to give her a slight respectful head nod as she heads back to Mort.
Okay. And
Ju-
that
Yep.
that will be your turn.
Sure.
And
Sounds good.
Hi.
what will Mort be doing?
Well, Mort would like to start interviewing people.
So where
You
do you
didn't
want?
tell us where to go.
You can go to hell. Lady Lothlead, if you'll follow me, we'll get you to sit at one of the table seats. I'll try to make this as comfortable as possible. I understand that you are quite distraught at the moment. I was able to actually speak with Grand Duke Avanathus myself, and though only knowing him for a short period of time, it hurts quite painfully to see him in passing like this.
She looks like she's holding back tears as she looks at you directly in the eye and says, "I will pay you any amount of gold for you to find the monster who did this, so that we may bring him to justice. Abernathy's was like a father to me. I will see Whoever did this flayed for this.
You go, girl.
She
There's no.
looks absolutely just livid and just you can see she's just in grievous amount of emotional pain.
There is no amount of gold in this world that could pay me because for Abernathy's, I would do this for free. I will find the person or people involved in his demise, and I will bring them to you. I
She
promise you that.
nods, um, kind of stoically at that. You can see she's clenching her jaw and holding back tears, but not doing it successfully. You can see some of them spilling from her eyes. Um, this is a lot for her.
Please, let us take a seat. We'll
She
try
nods.
to
Hmm.
we'll try to compose, and hopefully by the end of today, we will have that person in our grasps. I promise you, it's gonna be okay. I won't let Abernathy's death go in vain.
Thank you. Please lead the way, detective.
So I lead. Mort leads Lady Gloria, Lady Lothlean to her seat at the top of the table.
Do a quick knowledge local. You could tell that this seat was actually meant for the Grand Prince. She actually would have a seat at the other table. There's one between Zariah and Vespire, and one next to Trent that would have been available to her, since Abernathus was actually sitting here.
Okay, over here then.
Ooh.
I don't know where I'm going.
Okay,
I'm
so
not a smart drow.
she kind of sits down. She nods with a pained smile to Lady Trent. Lady Trent, it is good to see that you are doing well. Well, I would hardly call this well. I would hardly call this anything except a plot against my life. And who
Oh
better
my
than
god.
you to plot
Uh,
this?
Lady Trent, I've got some unfortunate news. Turns out that the poison reacts to the vocal cords being vibrated, so speaking actually makes it more potent for you.
Roll a bluff, you magnificent bastard.
You
Oh yeah,
got
no, I already
game.
rolled the bluff.
You guys
So she
remember
needs
Metal
to
Gear
try and
Solid
get.
5? This is like Metal Gear
Ah,
Solid 5.
that's beautiful.
She rolled a 6. So, yeah, she's immediately pipes down. You see her clutching her throat and like kind of going into herself and just pouting and just looking sad and angry and tiny.
Mort uh, um, leans down to Lady Lothlead, gives her a small kiss on the cheek, and whispers, "You're welcome."
You see, she actually blushes at that.